Hello, cooks, foodies, blind people, and watchers. Welcome back to Cooking Without Looking. If you're new, my name is John. I am blind and I love cooking. That's all you really need to know. And today we're going to make a very simple recipe, but it's always a favorite. We're making homemade mashed potatoes. Now, I know what you're thinking, John, that's not much of a recipe. Well, hush, because I'm going to surprise you. So, we start with our potatoes, and first things first, let's wash our hands, because I was handling the camera. There we go. Hands are nice and clean. So, we're starting with our potatoes. Now, these are some big ones, so we're not going to need that many, and I'm not making a whole bunch, but you can adjust this recipe as you need. And this is a great recipe. Really works with anything. I've made these with steaks before. You know, we've had them with holidays like Thanksgiving and stuff. I think 2 of these big ones should be enough, and they're gonna need to be washed. So, you know what? I better throw in a couple of little ones just to be on the safe side. I don't want to mess it up. Plus, then there'll be leftovers. Leftovers are always fun. Alright, so I'll throw in these 3 little ones too. Okay. I'll go with the tie. There it is. Alright. Sorry, guys. So let's take these back and put them away because we don't want them in our way. And we have, joining us, we have a little guest, my sister and brother-in-law's dog, Bella. She's going to be hanging out with us, so you might hear her clickety-clacking all across the kitchen floor. Now, we need to wash these because these are dirty. Well, not dirty, but like you can feel the dirt on them, and they just need to be washed. So I'm going to set these down and I'm going to wash them real fast. I'm not overly worried about them falling or anything. I mean, I'm only making these for me, but still, you want to wash them. Wash them good. That one's done. And then find somewhere you can lay them down. Just pat them dry if you need to. Got 4 more to rinse off. You're really just rinsing them. You just kind of want to get this grime off of them. Alright. More. Like I said, just run the water over them. You don't have to do anything special or fancy. Just run the water over them. Make sure it's nice and warm. That'll just help them clean off. Sorry, Bella. She's eyeing me like, what are you doing? I'm cooking, Bella. Alright. And 1 more will make 5. So let me grab the last big one. Alright. So we've got 5 potatoes, which are ready to be taken care of. So I'm going to grab them all. So I've got my potatoes right here. Next, we need a knife. Now, some people peel these. I don't. I actually like my mashed potatoes with the skin on them. If you don't, that's completely fine. You can peel them. I'm not going to. Personally, I think it's a waste to remove the skins. Okay, I'm gonna need a knife. Let me see what's happening here. I just did these dishes yesterday, so there should be a knife. Maybe there's not. Okay, there should be one down in here though. Yep, plenty of knives down in here. Not a fork. What's that doing with the knives? Okay, here we go. This one might work. I don't know, my good one's missing. Oh well, this one might work. So all we're doing, we're gonna cut these into maybe eighths. I don't know, the smaller ones I'm probably gonna cut into quarters. No, I'm gonna cut them into eighths too. So, for those of you who can see, you should have potato chunks about this big. Some of them are a little smaller like this one. But if you can't see, that's fine. I mean, I can't see. So what you want to do, I'll walk you guys through the second potato. But let me go ahead and finish this one first. Bella can hear a neighbor dog. Some of these are longer, so I'm going to have to cut them a little bit more. Okay. You just want to make sure your potato slices are around even. I'm not going to be like overbearing on them. You know, if they're a little bit off, it's fine, but we want to make sure they're around even. Okay, so I'll walk you guys through what to do with this next one. So take your potato and lay it on its side. It should be a long ways in front of you. So not pointing away or anything like that, pointing left to right. Start in the middle, and drive your knife down in there. And then slide it through. And then take your two halves, stand them up on the flat side. So they should look almost like a peak. And then drive your knife through. And then just repeat until you have them around the size you need them. If you need to lay it back down flat again and cut it a little more like I need to with these big ones, that's fine. Just make sure, like I said, make sure they're around the same size. If they're a little off, it's fine, but you don't want to be too off. Because if you are, your cooking time's going to be all off. You're going to have some potatoes that are ready, some that aren't. And it's just going to be a whole mess that you're not going to want to deal with. I've got my pot right here waiting for me. Let's finish the potatoes first. Okay. All right. Take these apart. They pull apart nice and easily. Potatoes are pretty simple to cut, in my opinion. As long as you can drive the knife through them, you'll be fine. A little under the weather. It's been cold lately, which is one of the reasons why I'm glad I'm making these, because this recipe goes great with everything. And you'll actually need this recipe for another one I'm planning to show you guys later on in the week. So. And yes, I know my cutting is a little slow, but you know, what are you gonna do? And the most important thing is to keep your fingers safe. So don't be trying to do anything fancy. Don't be trying to like rapidly cut them or anything. I cut slow because I want to keep my fingers out of the way, but since I'm blind, I do have to use my fingers a little bit. You can get a finger guard, but I don't. I have one, I just don't use it because, I don't know, it gets in the way. And I personally just don't care for it. You know, we might not even need all of these other potatoes. I'm gonna put this big one back. I'll probably keep these other two little ones. The big one could probably go back. I have plans for it later on. Yeah, we'll do that. So we're gonna cut the recipe down to 4 instead of 5. Which is 1 big one, 3 little ones. This one needs to stop trying to roll away. Potatoes are a great source of starch. So. And this will also go good if you've seen my meatloaf video. These actually go great with meatloaf. So if you get the chance, go back and watch that. And you can make some meatloaf with these. It'll be great. Potatoes are one of those foods, you can do a lot with them. Like, there's so much you can do with just potatoes. So, I think it's great. Ooh, that's close. I almost picked the knife up by its blade. That would not have been good. Alright. So, we've got our potatoes cut. Yeah, no, we're definitely not going to need any more than that. Alright, so now, take this over and get them covered with some cold water. Make sure all the potatoes are covered. Because we have to boil them so that we can mash them. I don't know why I didn't turn the sink up higher. Alright. Should be enough water. sure they're all covered. You don't want to do too much water though, because then it'll take forever to boil. So I've got the heat up on high, and that's because I want these to be done. Now, some people recommend you season them after, like while they're boiling. I'm actually going to season them afterwards so I can make sure the seasoning stays in the potato where I want it. So I'm going to put this knife in the sink. And I'll put this big one back because I don't need it right now. Don't worry, you'll see it again very soon. Dry it off before I put it back in there in case it's got any wetness on it. I don't want it to go bad or anything. Okay. Waiting on that to boil, I'm going to go ahead and get all my seasonings that I need. So, we are going to need some salt and some pepper. I'm going to use this black pepper right here. I'm going to need some, let me see if I still have any of it. Okay, I don't think I have any of my onions. I'm sure I do, I just don't know where it is. Everybody moves everything. Oops, someone left a spoon there. It's fine. If I don't have the onion, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so salt and pepper. We're going to need those for potatoes. And you're also, if you've watched this channel at all, you know what one of my favorite seasonings to work with is garlic. And this is no exception. We're going to need garlic. Yep, that's our minced garlic. I like this minced garlic because you get larger pieces of it, and I don't know, it's got more of a garlic flavor to it. Okay, now with this boiling water, you're going to want to take a like a large rubber spoon. I guess these are rubber. I'm not quite sure what these are made out of, but I think they're rubber. And make sure it's got holes in the bottom. This one's stuck. There we go. And just stir it every now and then so that the water doesn't boil over. Depending on how many potatoes you have in here and how much water and how hot you have it, these can take anywhere from 15 minutes to be soft enough once the water starts boiling. It really just all depends. You really just gotta time it. You'll know when they're ready though. The fork will go in smoothly, like you won't have to fight it to stab the fork into it. So there's not really much you can do until they're ready, until they're finished boiling, so we're kind of just going to have to wait for a few minutes. I apologize. But, as I said, this is a great recipe for really anything that you want to make. You know, it's a good starting recipe. Goes great with everything. Christmas is coming up, so if you want to put it with your Christmas dinner, by all means, go ahead. While this is waiting, I'm going to put some of these dishes away. There we go. You can put this with your Christmas dinner. You can use it for shepherd's pie, which is always great. You can use it to make potato candy, which is coming up, so stay tuned for that. You can use it really for anything. You really need to know how to mash potatoes if you want to make a lot of things. So, figured we'd make this recipe. And we just have to wait. There's nothing we can do until it's finished boiling. Yep. Okay, I'll just wait here. There's an older stove also, so it takes it a little while to get up to the temperature we want. Gotta be careful, you can't have the burner up too high though, because then it'll start to burn and everything You don't want that. Oh, water's starting to boil, I think. So that you guys don't have to watch this, I'm actually going to cut this part right here. So I'll have to put the two clips together. So just stay tuned. All right, welcome back. So these took a little bit longer to boil than I thought. They took probably almost 25 to 30 minutes to boil. It did take the water a while to get hot. So, but now they're good. So, and the way you can tell is take this fork and stick it down in the pot, get one of the potatoes, and it should slide right into the potato. And it does. So that means these potatoes are done. So, turn your water off. All right. Now, I'm gonna move this pot off of the burner for a moment so I can do the next thing I need to do. And now you're going to want to take yourself a colander. So that's something that's got holes in it so it can drain water. Now I've got one right here. It is clean. I do have it sitting down in the sink because you're going to want to drain this stuff over the sink. So just make sure you know that. You want to drain over the sink. Alright. Yeah, let me get this skillet out of the way. Dishes away is what I need to do, but I'll do it in a little bit. Okay. Okay. That was from bacon last night. Alright. Let's take your pot, hold it by its handles, take it over here, and dump it into the colander. At least I think that's what we call these things. It's a bowl with holes in the bottom of it. Ooh, that's a lot of steam. Make sure you dump your potatoes down in there so that they can drain. Alright. So, we're going to let that set because I'm actually going to use that again here in just a second. Okay. So, we are going to let that set for just a minute to let those potatoes cool off. You want to leave them set for a little bit so that they can drain. And while that's happening, we're going to get our butter and everything else ready. So get yourself a microwave bowl. Now, you can cook this over the burner, but I find that it's just easier to do it this way. So get yourself a microwave bowl. Get yourself some butter. Oh, there's something sitting right there. Get that out of the way. That's not butter. What is that? There's the butter. Okay. Get yourself some butter and get yourself some milk. Oops. Got bread trying to kill me. Alright. We'll make sure this milk is still good. Yep. Alright. So you're going to take the bowl and pour just a little bit of milk in it. You don't want a lot. Trust me. Alright. There we go. Put the lid back on that. Put that in the fridge. Almost at the sink. Do not put your milk in the sink. Now, I'm going to get a spoon to get some butter out with, because you need your butter. I'm just going to smaller than that. There we go. Alright, there we go. Go over here, get yourself a decent amount, but don't overdo it. So I'm using like probably a teaspoon, I think. So maybe get yourself 2 teaspoons of butter. For as many potatoes as I used, I think 2 teaspoons is enough. If it was bigger, I would obviously use more. Okay. Rinse my hands off. Perfect. Now, pop this in the microwave for about 15 to 30 seconds. So, I'm going to put the butter away first. And all you really want to do is just heat your milk up and melt your butter. And it does not take long. There we go. Alright. So, in that goes. Perfect. And while that's going on, we can get our potatoes. And now comes the mashing part. This is the fun part. So let me just make sure that this pan is empty. Yep. Alright, perfect. So, take your pan, or your pot that you used, and I'm just going to reuse it because, well, why am I going to bother dirtying up more dishes? So take your colander and pour your potatoes back into the pot. And these should all be ready to be mashed. Yep. Just grabbed one of them, it came apart right in my hand. So I'll move that over in just a second. Let me open this microwave so it's not beeping in 5 seconds. That stuff's done. So now, take the potatoes, bring them over here to your counter. Put this slotted spoon in the sink, and get out my masher. Alright, it's in here, I know it is, I just gotta find it. We shoved all the kitchen appliances, like the larger stuff, spatulas, the masher, all of that. It's ready to go. There it is. Perfect. So, get a good hold of your pot. Just get in there and mash the potatoes. And I actually have a really funny story about this. So my girlfriend Destiny and I, we were cooking dinner a few weeks ago. That was about a month ago, actually. Yeah, it was a month ago. Anyway. So I was cooking steaks and she was making mashed potatoes. And while she's mashing them, she starts singing the song Cult of Personality by the group Living Colors. So she's like Cult of Personality, like as she's mashing them down. She can do it better. She's a better singer than me. But I just always thought that was funny. I think it was a good story to tell. And she's okay with me telling it, so. Bella, it's okay. I'm just mashing potatoes. It's not anyone at the door. Mashing down in there. I'm gonna make sure they're nice and pulped. Like I said, I left the skin on. I like the skin. If you don't, you're more than welcome to peel it before you start boiling them. These were cooked nicely. They are mashing very well. Let me make sure I got all the potatoes out of the colander. Sometimes they like to stick in there. Yep, they're all gone. Okay. So now, bring your milk and your butter over. Grab that. Come over here. And pour it into your potatoes. So pour that in. Ooh. And let that absorb. So, I put a little bit too much milk in there, but hopefully that'll be fine. Yeah, it might have just been a little bit too much milk. You gotta be careful how much milk you put in there. You know, make sure that your potatoes are nice and creamy, but you don't want, liquid. Like, that same night that Destiny and I were cooking, I messed up and put too much milk in the potatoes and made them, potato soup, essentially. Okay, these are mashing really well, actually. I think we have just the right amount. Now, you need some salt. A very, very small amount of black pepper. Do not overdo this. I mean it. I overdid it, and whew, it was a rough night for everybody. Love the taste of black pepper. I don't like it so overpowering that I can't taste anything else. And lastly, a spoon. We'll get you some of this minced garlic in here. Don't ever do it with the garlic either. Always remember that. A little garlic goes a long way. And this is coming from someone who absolutely loves garlic. And I'm telling you, don't overdo it. Alright. Now that that's all in, you can get a spoon, and we can mix it up. We'll leave the masher in there for now in case we need to mash anymore. And yes, I know some people, they use other things to mash them, but there's nothing like mashing them by hand. Actually, since we're telling funny stories about mashed potatoes, I guess I'll have to tell one about myself since I talked about Destiny. I was making them last year, and I didn't know it was a potato. I didn't know that I thought that I was holding with a potato masher before. It wasn't. It was actually the turkey thermometer to my grandfather's turkey fryer. He has one of those propane turkey fryers. Well, he had one. It broke. But yeah, I thought that it was potato masher, so I would sit there and mash the potatoes with the thermometer, the flat end of the thermometer. I don't know what I thought it was. I knew it wasn't a potato masher, but I just thought, oh, I can take this and, use it. I don't know what I thought it was, though, but it was certainly not a potato masher. I felt really dumb after that happened. Let's taste these and find out how they came out, shall we? The best part about using these whole potatoes is that you get, you get some chunks of it in there, along with some pieces of skin and stuff. So we're gonna try this. All right, ready? All right, smells good. Nope, could have used a little more seasoning, but overall, I think it came out good. Yeah, so adjust the seasonings how you need to, but that's really it. That's all there is to it, to mashing potatoes. Now, like I said, you are going to need this recipe for something else I want to show you guys later on in the week. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it was educational, and I hope you'll enjoy this recipe, and I hope you'll make it for your families for the upcoming holidays, or just whenever you feel like it. If you're new, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Again, my name is John. This is Cooking Without Looking, where we teach blind people how to cook. Have a great day, and God bless all of you.